this a ticket. Talking market for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
Hey y'all, it's me Naima from Dressed in Black. How are you guys doing? I hope you say you're doing well. And for absolutely no other reason than I just felt like I wanted to, I'm going to talk about 5 of the dumbest things I've ever done. Probably not in my entire life. I'm sure it's way more than 5, but I just thought, I don't know, I just get it off my chest. I don't know, I just thought it'd be something fun to talk about, so let's get right into it. Number 1, which is pretty obvious for me at this point, is I wish I would have started a business sooner. It ain't like it's paid off or anything yet, not financially, but emotionally and like spiritually and creatively, like it's giving me like a new purpose and something I never had before. You know, I kind of just went day by day, most of the time on autopilot, kind of depressed, kind of just not really into life. And now I have a reason to like get up and like even shoot a video or go work on something, you know? I feel like if you are deep into anxiety and depression the way I was, you have to be immersed in something that feeds your soul. You know, you gotta work. Most of us have to work. And it's still work. It's just work that you want to do when you're doing it for yourself. And I feel like instead of waiting and putting it off and making excuses, and I mean, of course some things are out of your control, but I wish, just point blank, I wish I would have started sooner. Who knows where I would have been by now? I'm almost 30. Like I could have been a millionaire by now. Who knows, you know? So if it's something you want to do, do not wait. Number 2, and these might not seem big to y'all, but they was big for me. Looking back, it's like, why I do that? So number 2 is perming and bleaching my hair the same day. Now, I used to color my hair all the time. This is probably the longest I've gone without dyeing my hair in a long time. Like I stay dyeing my hair, right? And it's always falling out. That's why I got like 3 strands of hair now. Like I just, yeah. But back before I was natural, I'm pretty sure I did it here at home. I think I did it at home. I don't remember which one I did first. I felt like I permed my hair first. I definitely permed it first. And I think I even did that wrong. I think I did it in 2 batches because it didn't come out completely straight when I washed it out. So I went back and yeah, I'm shocked that my follicles still are like showing up for me, cause so I think I permed it over twice that same day, and then I'm pretty sure I went over the color twice too, because I didn't know that you needed, what is it called, like a booster or something. I don't know if the booster like affects the oh yeah, it does, it affects the hair, yeah. So I did it 3 times. So I think my hair lasted maybe a good like 3 months before it started breaking off again, because it'll get really healthy and it'll start to flourish and be long. And then my dumb ass gonna go ahead and do something to it every time. I'm addicted to it. I've been like natural with no chemicals, no anything. I don't know, maybe like 4-ish years maybe. And I still wasn't taking care of it, but I don't know. Number 3 is putting concert tickets on credit. If it was pink, I probably wouldn't even think twice about it. I'd have spent many $100 on pink, but that ain't make sense, many $100. Anyway, but I think it was my birthday weekend, and I really wanted to see one of my other favorite singers besides Pink is Anthony Hamilton. I wanted to see him. And I ain't have all the money. I ain't have it. But they offered Klarna. I believe that's the one. I think it was Klarna. Or it was something like that. Something like that. You know, you can pay in installments. I'm like, oh, no big deal. You know, that's cool. I didn't know they checked your credit and all that. Like, they really, it's credit. It ain't just installments. Like, they want their money, and then you gonna pay somebody else back. And I think it was on my credit for like 2 years. It was on my credit for about 2 years. And I'm like, it's one day. It's one day. And you know, I paid for me and my homeboy, who, it was my birthday, but I paid for everything. But that's a whole nother story time. I will never do that again. So I'm like, it really wasn't worth it. I mean, no, I don't think any concert is worth it. It would have to be like I said, it would have to be like Pink or something, like once in a lifetime kind of concert for me to, and it wasn't that much money. It was like $500. We were in like the third row, so I don't know. Let me know if you would do anything like that and what artist you would do it for. Okay, this is number 4, but I'm mad at myself for how I did it, not necessarily what I did. So not being a good enough criminal. Let me explain. So when I was younger, way younger, I mean, I ain't old, but you know, I was in middle school. It was me, a friend of mine at the time, and her friend, and we would go into the store after school. I didn't think nothing of it. They had a plan, I guess, to to borrow some clothes, right? No big deal. You know, we kids, that's what kids do. So it was my job to take their coats that they were wearing so they could switch out coats and just walk them out the store, right? I wasn't really down with like pretty much doing anything that my mom told me not to do. I was just that kind of a kid, but I'm like, well, they need me, so I'll help. So I guess the whole thing is dumb when you think about it, right? You shouldn't be stealing, yada yada yada. But my thing was like, okay, I took their coats, and then you think, you know, you would walk home or like go around the corner or like run. It was a bench right outside the store. I just sat on the bench with the coats and just waited for them to come out. I'm kind of happy I'm not a good criminal, but I'm like, girl, like, I mean, they ended up getting caught anyway, but see, I even was like looking back, like, what's taking them so long? Like, and I stood up and I looked through the door and I saw somebody coming for me, and I saw them taking them to the back. I'm like, oh, well, I guess we're caught. Like, I didn't care either way. I really didn't. That was another one of my issues. I was just so naive and just like, So yeah, I mean, we didn't get like locked up. They tried to act like we were gonna, you know, go to prison and some shit like that, but we just got yelled at. Embarrassed by our families, you know the deal. And number 5 is the biggest one for me because it still affects me to this day, kind of like what's the other one, putting a concert on a credit card. So this could really be a whole story time in itself, but to keep it short, I went to college for a boy. Yeah, I kind of camouflaged it as going for fashion, you know. If you watched any of my other stories, you know I went back and forth to college probably like 7 times. Like, yeah. So this was my third maybe, my third attempt, but my first at like a university, right? The rest of them were like community colleges and stuff. And like truthfully, one of the teachers that I wanted to work with, she used to be at the community college that I liked, but then she moved to that university. So I was like, well, I'm just gonna follow her or whatever, because they had like a good curriculum. It was very new. It was very, very new. And you know, I just wanted to see what college life was about, because even though I was 18, 19, college just was not a thing that we talked about in our house. Like, it just wasn't something that we talked about. Like, I didn't know a lot of people that went to college. There are a few cousins here and there. Like my mom, she didn't go to college. My dad didn't even finish high school. So it didn't occur to me after I graduated high school. I was just like, oh, I never gotta go back to school again. I hated school. I mean, I hated school. Hated it. So, you know, I always had it in my mind I would go back eventually, but I didn't really be like, you know, let me do this now until I thought of what's his face. I'm just gonna call him Derek. So he was going there, and I thought, you know, we weren't like mad at each other at the time, but we weren't talking either, not really. And I kind of wanted to see if he would talk to me again. I know it's like, then why not just send him a message? It's like, I don't know, because y'all, I gotta do the most. I gotta be extra. I gotta do it big. I don't know. I figured if I was there, we weren't up underneath our parents and our family's influences anymore. we could really like just be ourselves and have more freedom and talk about things. And long story short, it didn't work. I probably ran into him maybe 3 times that whole year. It really wasn't what I thought it was gonna be. And half the time I was distracted with other stuff anyway. But literally, like, I remember just like, oh my God, I had some really horrible nights there. Like, I would break down and sit on the floor and cry with the lights off, like pillow to the face, you know, old school, trying to make sure nobody could hear me crying. And it's like, I remember people would like talk about me or look at me a certain way that I never seen before in my entire life, mind you. And I'm like, oh, so he over there talking about me, because how they know who I am? Like, how they know the situation and I don't talk to nobody about it? Like, even my friends that were my friends at the time, I didn't talk to them about it until way, way later into the situation. And like, I was just like, oh, okay, so this is just going to be uncomfortable. This is just going to be a real uncomfortable 4 years. So, I mean, long story short, I didn't stay. Obviously, I didn't graduate from there. And nothing came of, you know, my mission to talk to him. So I'm just in debt. I ain't get to talk. I ain't get my friend back. I got the debt though. I got the money though that I have yet to pay off, by the way. Probably won't. It ain't even that much, because mind you, I ain't graduate. I do feel bad for the people that did. I mean, whoo, college, that could be number 6. Number 6 or 5.5. Going to college in general. That's if you going for, like I said, healthcare, or you want to be a lawyer, or you want to build houses, I'm gonna need you to know what you're doing. But everybody else, it's giving scam. It's giving scam. It's giving why we have YouTube. You know, there are other ways. There are other ways to get where you want to be. And it seemed like the richest people in the world anyway didn't even go to college. Anyway, long story short, yeah, that's my 5 or 5.5 dumbest things I've ever done. Please don't judge me. Take me for who I am. So yeah, please, if y'all enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Please comment. I'm so sick of not getting no comments. I like to talk to you guys. I want to hear what y'all think. Please share the video. I have a new domain. It's basically the same thing. It's just dressedinblack.com, just without the boutique part. It was getting too long to say it, to write it. I was getting sick of it. So dressedinblack.com. And what's the other one? Subscribe, like, share, leave a comment. I'm still new at this. I think that's pretty much all I want from y'all right now. Of course, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, we're on there too. And I hope to see you guys next time. Let me know the 5 dumbest things you've ever done. Shoot, make me feel better. And I'll see y'all later. Bye.